Okay, this video is for my buddy James over at Old School, The Modern Twist. Alright, about got this lantern running. Well, actually, it's running. I lit it without the mantles, done good, so I'm getting her to burn these mantles. Just a little update. Told you that I would replace this homemade reflector with a original Coleman reflector, but I decided not to do that because somebody has done a darn good job making this one. I mean, they notched out the place for the bell. They drilled and tapped. That's not sheet metal screws, that is just metal screws that's tapped. So I mean, that belongs to that lantern now. Somebody worked hard on that, so I'm going to keep it with the lantern if that's all right with you. Okay, I replaced that newer fuel cap with the original that would have went on here, 3-piece cap instead of the just a flat cap, newer one. And James, I'm not a big fan of these strikers, but I did put you a new flint in there since it was part of the lantern. I went ahead and replaced the flint. So can't do it with one. There you go. Hard to do it with my left hand, but it does work. The best way to light these lanterns is take your time, take the globe off, preheat that generator, and light it that way. But I mean, the striker does work, but it's a little cold natured, so it's probably going to flood a little bit. So let's give this a try. See what I mean about the flooding? If you preheat that generator, it's not going to do that. So, but she's going to run good. Heck yeah. Okay, James, this old crusty rusty here, I think it was a 70 model if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's 1970. And it's, like I said, it's crusty and rusty. But the only thing I done to this thing was I put some oil on the pump leather, and this is the cap that came off the other one that I done. I just swapped that cap out on, put on here, and she fired right up. This right burner tube was stopped up with cobwebs or something because it shot yellow flames out of there down to the bottom for several minutes before it burned out. So whatever it was burned out of it. But let's fire this thing up, see what she looks like. See the difference that makes when you preheat that generator instead of using that striker. If you preheat that generator, you get no flare up. Okay, that's 2 down, 1 to go. Okay, James, this old powerhouse, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't even oil the pump leather. And you can see there's something fishy going on there at these mantles. Get in closer. Or booties, as James calls them. Try not to touch that, but they're tied on all the way up the top of the burner tube. I mean, they're supposed to hang down. They tie onto the burner on the very end, not the tube. So I think this is going to work fine. Just replacing them mantles. Okay, James, there's the newer model, the Powerhouse. I think that was a 90 model if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember. I can't see it in here right now. Late 80s, early 90s. See, that's got the heat shield in the bottom because those have a plastic eccentric block, if I'm not mistaken. That keeps that block from melting. But hey, it looks like a decent lantern. But anyway, we got them all going. All right, James, all three running. Honestly, I don't think I would have had to done nothing to any of them except this one, that the older one. I mean, the pump leather was really dry; it wouldn't pump. But I did clean the check valve. I mean, just for make sure that you get years of use out of this thing. I went ahead and tore it completely down, cleaned out the air tubes, and fuel pickup tube, cleaned it, and just make sure you're going to get plenty of years of service out of that, James. I mean, but I probably would have fired up with just oil in the pump leather, be my opinion. But just like the other ones did. So just a little oil, just a little general maintenance, all they needed. All right, buddy. Yours when you're ready. Appreciate it. Okay, you all know the routine. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.